Pokemon Pocket has a game-breaking issue, and we're going to talk about it right now. Hello, fellow card game degenerates, and welcome to Pocket Villain, hosted by yours truly, Villionaire. This channel is the spot if you enjoy degenerate decks, combos, and game-breaking stuff if we can find it. And trust me when I say I am very good at breaking card games. Speaking of breaking card games, I noticed something in Pokemon Pocket that I didn't really see a lot of people talking about too much, and some of my friends who are pretty darn good at card games didn't even notice that this was a thing. I wanted to address it here in this video, and it's sitting right here. Misty is quite the crazy card, as I'm sure anyone who's played against the water deck in Pokemon Pocket knows. This card can just do amazing things. Anything that gives you free energy in this game is just crazy. Like, most of the really good decks that exist are based around getting ramped up on free energy, but most of those cards require Pokemon to set that energy up for them. Like Mewtwo EX requires Gardevoir, Charizard EX requires Moltres to flip a bunch of heads and, be in your starting position and have an energy on it itself. So all of these decks require setup to get their additional energy, but Water does not. Water was given Misty, and this card alone just can give you free energy. Some of the times, though, you just flip tails and this card does nothing, and it sucks. But that's fine, because when it's good, the other 50% of the time, it's insane. Like, just one energy, even just one heads off of this is so crazy. Like, it literally sets you an entire turn ahead in resources, and that alone is wild. But the ceiling of this card is even more absurd. The ceiling of this card is that you can flip 2 heads, 3 heads, 4 heads, 5 heads, and then you literally just load it up like a Blastoise EX with 5 energy, and now that bad boy can swing for, like, what is it, 140, 160, something like that. So yeah, this card's cap is crazy. The power cap of this card is crazy. It could just scale infinitely, potentially. And that's not why this card's game breaking, though. That is crazy, and I do think that this card is definitely overtuned, but a few things happen in Pokemon Pocket that really make this card kind of busted. The first one being, in the standard TCG, you are not allowed to play supporter cards on the first turn of the game. Now, this was a change that was implemented only a few years ago. Initially, when supporter cards were introduced into the Pokemon TCG, you could play supporter cards on turn 1, but they changed that, and it did make going first versus going second matter a little bit more, for sure, in the main game. But Pokemon Pocket, of course, is a more compact, fast-paced version of the TCG. So it makes sense to me that we're able to bring it back to people having supporters on the first turn, especially given that they've taken away the ability to attach an energy on the first turn, which you can do in the standard TCG. Now, you're not allowed to attack on the first turn in the standard TCG, but you can play an energy onto your Pokemon, and that's a pretty big advantage, being able to already start stacking and getting towards your bigger attacks way before your opponent even has a chance to do anything. That definitely is an advantage to going first in the regular TCG. In this TCG, you don't have to draw energy cards, and you're guaranteed an energy every single turn. So they decided to remove the ability to attach an energy on the first turn and gave that only to the player going second, but you're guaranteed an energy every turn. And I think that that's a pretty good balancing thing. There are a lot of players I've seen talk about saying basically, like, why would you ever not just want to go second? It's so much better going second in this game because you get the energy. But as I'm going to show you, there are definitely instances, especially because of this card, where going first is very preferable. The other thing in the original TCG is that you're not allowed to attack going first, Whereas in this game, for some reason, and I don't know if they even intended for this or not, you are allowed to attack going first. The only way you're kind of able to do that, though, is currently at least Misty. Now, there are Pokemon in the standard TCG that do have attacks that cost no energy. I don't know if in future sets of Pocket we're going to be maybe getting Pokemon like that will be able to attack on the first turn, not having energy. I'm not sure if that's even going to be a thing or not. But right now, unless they make something like that, or unless they make some other way of generating energy on the first turn of the game, specifically a fair amount of energy on the first turn of the game, Misty is kind of the only card that can do this thing. And when it pops off, it's absolutely crazy. So yeah, Misty allows you to break that rule, break the game rules, and lets you stack a bunch of energy. And because in this game you can now play supporters on the first turn of the game, it allows you to stack a bunch of energy on the very first turn of the game. And because you're allowed to attack on the first turn of the game, you can basically just one-shot whatever is sitting in your Pokemon's basic spot. And if they only have one basic Pokemon, they just lose the game instantly. It's actually just a first turn kill. I've had it happen in a few games myself. I would hate to have this happen to me or to see this happen to anyone in like a tournament or something that actually like truly matters for this game. So yeah, I don't know if it's intended or not. I don't know if it's going to be patched or anything. I haven't seen too many people talking about it, but let's just roll the clip here. Let me show you what I'm talking about, and then we'll come back and wrap this up. Yes! Yes! And this is why this card is so stupid. And yeah, I mean, it's my first turn. He's got nothing else on his bench. This is the only thing, and I'm already able to deal 80. So yeah, and it lets you attack and kill them on the first turn. First turn kill. Exodia. Exodia. Ridiculous. Yeah, something has to change for sure. So yeah, there you have it. A first turn kill. Pretty insane. I really hope that there isn't more things like this in the game, or especially if they make them more consistent, they might have to look at whether or not they want to take out the ability to attack on the first turn of the game. It doesn't really make sense to me that it is there, but that the option is even there at all, especially given that there's no other way to attach energy on the first turn of the game except this card. So it may be taken out in the future. I think it should be taken out, or maybe something should be done to Misty. I'm really not sure how you fix this situation, but I do know that situations like what I just showed are definitely going to cause some pretty bitter interactions for whoever is on the receiving end of that pounding in the game. So yeah, that is the Misty first turn kill Exodia combo. And a lot of things have to go your way. You gotta go first. You gotta draw a Misty and an Articuno in your opener. And you've got to flip, 3 heads in a row. So basically flipping 4 heads if you count the heads that you had to flip to go first. Plus, drawing the card itself. But if you get all those pieces of Exodia, it is a first turn kill. Your opponent's going to be salty, and you're going to be on your way to your next match. So try it out if you ever get a chance to do that, and see for yourself. Some other interesting interactions to consider are potentially Mistying on, say, a Psyduck on turn 1 to just completely lock your opponent out of supporter cards on turn 2, preventing them from potentially drawing cards or Sabrinaing you or whatever it is that they were going to do. Just kind of shutting down most of their hand for that turn. That's also could be pretty annoying. And we'll see if more interactions come out with future, water Pokemon that can attack on turn 1 that can do annoying things to your opponent, or just, outright destroy their Pokemon. If you want to check out more Misty deck action, make sure to check out the other deck profiles that we have on the channel for Misty decks. And I will have new decks being uploaded regularly. So please subscribe to PokeVillain. And I hope to see you guys next time.